Hey, what's going on, guys? This is your boy, the Fett, over here. I'm about to break down two Orioles games that happened last week. I'm going to combine the Tampa Bay series and the Detroit series, mostly because the Tampa Bay series was rained out a game. I just feel like it'll flow better together. And you'll get a better understanding of the team now on maybe a two-series stand. So, as you know, the Baltimore Orioles are not that good. We come into the Tampa Bay series straight off the bat. Doesn't look good, after we got our butts handed to us by the Indians. So game one was postponed. It's going to be a doubleheader made up later in the year. Interdivisional game against Tampa Bay. I'm feeling good. We got Cobb on the mound. I'm thinking, all right, well, the Rays aren't that good. A lot of their talent's not there anymore. They got young guys. Maybe we can eke this one out. Boy, was I wrong. Game one / technically game two of the series, the Orioles lose 8-4. They fall to 6-17 on the year, and Cobb got destroyed. Let's go ahead and lead off with the ugly here in this game. Cobb goes 4.2 innings pitched, gives up 10 hits, 5 earned runs, no strikeouts. His earned run average has ballooned to 13.11. Now remember, this is the same guy that we gave all this money to, all right? He was sent down to the minors. He didn't get called up right away at the beginning of the season because he needed to get ready. He still was getting conditioning. And, here he is, 3 games into the season, and he is 0-3 with an ERA of 13.11. Oh, by the way, he has a 3-year, $60 million contract. I just don't get it. I don't know. I don't know what it is about us getting pitchers from anywhere because they never pan out. Not even the homegrown ones. So, basically we just got destroyed. The Rays out hit us 14-5 in the game. And so we bring in Scott to relieve, and he only pitches an inning, but he gives up 3 hits and 2 earned runs, to add salt to the wound. There was also 1 unearned run by Devil Rays, so that's the ugly. Scott and Cobb basically just dragging us down. The bad is we lost the opening divisional game against the Devil Rays. You lose to the Devil Rays, and you pretty much feel like last place is coming. Once again, 2 years in a row. I hate finishing last. Even if we finish 1 game above the Blue Jays or the Devil Rays, I want to do it. I just don't want to finish dead center in the basement because that's where we're headed, ladies and gentlemen. I also got the bats. They had 10 strikeouts. So once again, a 10K day. And, the bats went 5 for 32, so it wasn't very good. Mr. Chris Davis added to his strikeout total. He had 1. Chance and Trey each had 3. At least Cisco hit a home run. That's part of my good. We signed this new guy, Jace Peterson, off waivers. I believe he was with Atlanta. His first game, he comes in, goes 1 for 3, and has 2 RBIs. So if you take the good out of this, our waiver wire move gave 2 RBIs for us. Our young catcher hits a home run, but nothing good in game 1 against the Rays. The second game, a little bit better. We put up some more runs, but we still end up losing. I was disappointed because Bundy started this game. He just got absolutely blown up. Not the typical Dylan Bundy start we've seen this year. He goes 4.2 innings, gives up 11 hits, 7 earned runs, only strikes out 4, and gives up 2 home runs. That is my ugly for this game, as Bundy just... I'm speechless. We're going to have these games where, our best pitchers, him and Gaz, don't produce, but I just didn't think the Devil Rays would be the cause of it. I could see the Yankees or the Red Sox or, the Indians, teams that are going to the playoffs. But Tampa Bay? Nah. So, to add to that ugly, we got a 2-game sweep by the Tampa Bay Devil Rays. Bundy only going 4.2 is bad. Normally, guys going 5, 6, 7 innings, and O'Day, he comes in, gets charged with a hit and a run. just terrible. And none other than Chris Davis, who did go 2 for 5, but unfortunately contributed 2 strikeouts. Pedro Alvarez had 3 Ks. I mean, come on, guys. The Devil Rays just absolutely had our number this series. It was ugly watching them. We got 16 hits and they had 13, but we also were charged with 3 errors. Jones, Valencia hit home runs here. I don't know. Trey went 2 for 5. Jones went 3 for 5 with a home run. Santander went 3 for 4. I even have Mike Wright in here as the good, as he goes 1.1 innings pitched with 3 Ks. And the bats were also labeled good because they went 16 for 39. The bats woke up 16 for 39 and they still lost, ladies and gentlemen. The Devil Rays complete the sweep. 2 games. They're going to make up that 3rd game as a doubleheader coming up. In review of that series, basically, I'm going through it kind of quick because of how depressed I was over it. These are teams we should be beating or at least be competitive with. I expect if we're going to lose, we're going to lose by a run, not 4. We lose both games by 4 runs. 100 losses, man. It is speeding to us. We dropped to 6-18 after this loss. There's just no consistency. One day the bats go 16 for 39. The other day they go, 4 for 32. So just no consistency here. I like the Peterson signing. I like that they played him as soon as they got him, and he did produce. He went 1 for 3 with 2 RBIs in game 2, but I'm still waiting for Austin Hayes to get called up. You know what I mean? I want to see some of these young pitchers get called up here too. So just the overall effort just wasn't there. I don't even have anything for Manny written in the first 2 games, so that tells you how we were. And Manny was hot going into this series. So we lose to them 2 games. And now we come home for the next series, which I'm hopping right into, which is the Detroit Tigers. It is our 2nd series we won. We beat the Yankees earlier in the year, 3 out of 4 games. The SkiveWalker will tell you that. But the Tigers also swept us, so I was a little nervous. I had a lot going on with the draft. I didn't get to watch as much of the games as I wanted to. I was happy because, like I said, we got swept by the Tigers earlier. I thought it was, we needed this. Like I said, we need to beat these teams that are just as bad as us. If we don't want 100 losses, or if we're going to make some type of push, I don't see it. Like I said, I see 100 losses. I see Manny going away, but let's jump into Game 1. Game 1, the Orioles win 6-0. They get a shutout, 7 scoreless innings from who? Who might you ask? Chris Tillman, ladies and gentlemen. Tillman is the good as he goes 7 innings, gives up 1 hit. He gets the W, 5 Ks, and his ERA shrinks to 7.03. Ever since that last game, like I said, he shrunk into single digits. Now he's shrinking even further. I believe he dropped 2 points in his ERA. El Toro, saving the team, has 2 home runs, gets 3 RBIs. I don't know what this dude's eating or what they're feeding him in the clubhouse, but keep doing it because he smacked 2 home runs. Just an absolute beast, man-child. Manny goes 2 for 3, gets a home run, has 2 RBIs. The bats only struck out 5 times, so I thought that was really good. I'd like to see them float around that area more often. And I got to give some pitching some credit as Mike Evans goes 1 inning pitch, gets the hold, strikes out 2. Now, the ugly, as I'm complimenting the bats with only 5 strikeouts, they did only go 8 for 32, which isn't bad. It isn't, really. But we still have, you can still see the inconsistency of the bats here. And let's go ahead and jump over to the ugly. I got one thing listed, and that would be mighty Chris Davis with 2 strikeouts, batting 167. Why are we paying this guy? Why don't we just set him up with a contract incentive type of thing where, duh, we already signed him to the contract, can't change it on him. But, I mean, if I'm Duquette and I'm the GM next year, he's taking the pay cut, or we got to take some cap loss because this is ridiculous. I mean, talking about a guy in half his at-bats strikes out, just embarrassing. But we did get the W with 6-0 thanks to El Toro and Machado backpacking us. Tillman, I hope this was your saving grace game. I hope this is your coming out party. I look forward to your next start after this, unfortunately. For fantasy purposes, I did start him in this game, so I was extra excited that he went and played this well. But I do not expect a repeat performer. If you're a fantasy guy and you're listening to this, do not go add Chris Tillman just because he went 7 scoreless innings against the Tigers. All right? Speeding things up, after the Orioles win that game, they hop up with 7 wins. They go 7-19. Game 2 comes around, and the Birds lost 5-9, mostly because of one player. Mickey Cabrera had 5 RBIs for the Detroit Tigers. Just an absolute beast still. He's been in the league. He's a vet. I know a lot of people in Detroit want to see him get traded or, see him, potentially be an all-star move. When I say all-star move, I mean by the trade deadline and the all-star break. He might have a new home, depending on how well he keeps playing. The ugly for this loss, definitely Cashner. He took the L. He's now 1-4. He only goes 4 innings, gives up 7 hits, 7 runs, 6 earned, and 4 Ks. He's going to have bad games like this. Like I said, he's just a number 3-4 guy in the rotation. Obviously, we expect more of him being a free agent signing, but what are you going to do? Chris Tillman, the game before, had just gone 7 innings. So ride the roller coaster while you're on it. The bats, 8 for 33. I mean, we are still at the same below mediocrity with the batting. Like I said, Manny's doing great. Manny's batting like 300, but I mean, nobody else really is. As we get crushed, 5-9, not really crushing, but Cashner took the loss. Just looking over the stats. Now the good is they only struck out 4 times. Let me backtrack too. The bad, O'Day went 1 inning, gave up 2 hits, 1 earned run, and a home run. Just added salt in the wound. I'm pretty sure that home run, Victor Martinez, old man, DH, embarrassing. Moving on to the good. Chris Davis did not play this game, so you're going to start hearing me quote that as the good because there's no strikeouts to report to you guys. Machado goes 2 for 5 with 2 RBIs. Like I said, the bats only had 4 Ks. Trey went 2 for 5. And I'm really starting to like Castro out of the bullpen as he goes 1.1 inning. He gets the hold. He has 2 strikeouts. But the Orioles lose and fall to 7-20. Moving on to Game 3. The Birds win the rubber match to improve to 8-20. They get a 5-3 victory. El Toro does it again. So twice in this series, he homered twice. El Toro, the DH. He played some third base. Heard he looked kind of beefy over there at third. I'm all right with it, as we're pretty banged up. Still waiting for Trumbo, Scoop, Rasmusis to come off the DL. So I don't know how this is going to play out the rest of the year, but they did win 5-3 over the Tigers here to take only their second series victory on the year. Trey had a leadoff home run. It was a nice shot. Gosman, he looked strong. He went 5.2 innings, 5 hits, 1 earned run, 4 Ks. O'Day saved himself after having a couple poor performances earlier in the week. As he gets the save, he goes 1 inning pitched and has 2 Ks. He looked good. Now, the only thing that doesn't look good and is in the bad category is Brock. 1.1 inning pitched, 3 hits, 2 earned runs. That's our closer, guys, until Britton gets back. And he's getting bombed. I know they put him in more of a relief scenario right after Gosman pitched, but he almost blew the game for us. So won't be doing that no more, Buck. The ugly, the bats. We win 5-3, and we hit 5 for 32. We had 9 strikeouts. What else is there to say? If we don't hit home runs, we don't win. Us in our tiny ballpark and our weak pitching, I mean, it's atrocious. So in conclusion, the Orioles get swept 2-0 by the Devil Rays. They take 2 out of 3 from the Tigers. They are now 5-10 at home, 3-10 on the road. Can they keep this momentum going? We're going to have to see. I know Joey Ricard, I believe, was called up. Like I said, I'm still waiting for Austin Hayes to come up. I'm still waiting for the guys to come off the DO. We need Trumbo, Scoop, and Rasmusis. So hopefully they come back in the next week or so and we can start getting things turned around. Me being completely honest with you guys, I don't see it. Like I said, I just see the spiral going down. And maybe we can serve up some talent to get some draft picks and some prospect guys. So that's my Orioles report of the last week. Sorry, guys. I've been getting caught up in the draft, and I have a bunch of family flying up for a wedding coming up this week. But I plan on going ahead and giving you guys the next series, which is going to be the Angels are on a West Coast sweep from Tuesday through Thursday, and then they got the Athletics following that. So I'll go ahead and break down the Angels game probably. I probably won't get around to it with the wedding and everything until the weekend. They'll be halfway through the series with the A's. So you know what? I may wait until Sunday night to go ahead once all the games are done and give a West Coast recap. Depending how you guys like this compared to the single game. I like this a little more because I can, show the two sides to each series as well as compare the whole week as a whole. Like I said, the Birds are in a hole at 8-20. I just don't know if they can dig themselves out. I know it's still early. People are like, oh, it's not even May, but you never want to start the season off like this. So, it's your guys' favorite Fett, and I'm saying so long, and let's go O's.
Hold on, Fett. I got something to say. We got to talk about the New York Yankees for just a minute. Because this team has pulled a 180 and is on a 9-game winning streak. That's right, 9 games. Guys, before I start talking a little bit more about the New York Yankees, make sure you hit up A&B Masonry for all kinds of masonry needs. They're your first and second options. Make sure you give my man Tyler Opto a call. Getting right into it, guys. The Yankees riding high on a 9-game winning streak, looking like one of the best teams in baseball, looking like the potential that they had all year long. This is how they started off. They took 3 of 4 from Toronto. Started off pretty good. Won the first one, lost the second one, won the last 2. Then we go to Minnesota, take 4 games away from them, putting them even further down in the AL Central. Then we go out to L.A., facing Shohei Ohtani, Albert Pujols going for 3,000 hits, in the mighty Los Angeles Angels, and sweep them in 3. And who else, other than Game 1, is going to win the game for the New York Yankees going into the 10th inning? Sir D.D. hitting his 10th home run of the year in the 10th inning. Unbelievable. Right now, the Yankees are 2 games back of first place despite Boston's hot start. Can you believe that? Boston, right off the rip, looked like the best team probably to ever come out of baseball. And now the Yankees are only 2 games behind them. This, guys, is why you play all 162. This is why you can't judge teams off in April. Am I excited about the Yankees right now? Yes, but they have not proved anything. We're sitting at 18-9, 2 games back from the hot Boston Red Sox. The Red Sox had lost a couple. They won last night, keeps them 2 games ahead. However, we have a long way to go. And guess who's right around the corner, having to come to the friendly confines of New York? The Boston Red Sox. See, we're sitting at 18-9, only 2 games back, like I said. The next upcoming games are going to be difficult. Here's what we got looking ahead to the schedule. Starting tonight, we're at a 4-game set at Houston. At Houston. Reigning World Series champs. These guys are very good. It's going to be a tough series. Probably going to take 2 of 2. The Yankees are also a very good team. It's going to be a fun series to watch. Sonny Gray is going to get us started against Houston at Houston. Following the series against Houston, the Cleveland Indians come to the Bronx. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to get tickets for that game. I will be in New York, though. I'm going to be excited for the series. I am going to be watching it from the friendly confines of a hotel room because, as the Fett was saying, the Fett and SkiveWalker show is going to be a little bit busy this week as the SkiveWalker here is finally tying the knot. We're going to have Mrs. SkiveWalker ready to roll. And looking forward to it, guys. It's going to be fun. Cannot believe this is happening. It's going to be an exciting journey. But getting back to the good old New York Yankees, what else can I say about Didi Gregorius? The guy is just a machine. The guy's just a bad man. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but right now, it seems like Didi Gregorius very well could be the best shortstop in baseball. That may be a stretch. But the way the guy's playing right now is just ridiculous. He's batting .340, has 10 bombs, 30 RBIs, 2 stolen bases, 1.202 OPS. This guy is a superstar through and through, and he only gets better. The guy just comes up big. He's our 4-hitter, or our 3-hitter, for a reason. The best hitter in the lineup. And you put him right in between Aaron Judge and Giancarlo Stanton. The guy just produces. He struggled a little bit defensively yesterday, but for the most part, he's very good with his glove, very good with the bat. When there's 2 outs in the bottom of the ninth, as much as I love Aaron Judge, I want Didi Gregorius having the bat. Because with Didi having the bat, you never know what could happen. The guy is just that good. He's that fluid and he's that clutch. Going into Judge a little bit more, the guy has also been a terror. Batting .317, 7 home runs, 18 RBIs. Even Aaron Judge has 2 stolen bases. People underestimate this guy's athleticism and his speed just because he's 6'7", just because he's like 250, 260. The guy is quick, and he'll sneak up on you real fast. Giancarlo Stanton, the guy's starting to hit. I mean, he's really starting to see the ball well. His average is still only at right around the 232. But all I need him to do is hit. Just start to get warm, man. If Giancarlo Stanton can start hitting, this lineup is just going to explode. The Kraken is up next, hitting a 2-run bomb in the first inning, giving the Yankees that 2-0 lead to start off the game last night against the Angels was huge. The guy is not having a good average right now this year. He's only batting .208, but he does have 7 home runs and 24 RBIs. So when he does hit the ball, he hits it a long way and he hits it hard. He's still the best offensive catcher in baseball, in my opinion. He really is the best offensive catcher in baseball. Has a lot of work to do defensively, as he still allows a lot of pass balls, but I'm still going to take the guy. I'm going to say he's a top 5 catcher in baseball. Not a whole lot of other guys I would take over Gary Sanchez right now. The guy's just been a machine. And just at the beginning of the year, even though he's struggling with his average now, the guy is a 240 hitter at worst. Probably going to be sitting around 250, 260. I want that guy in my corner. I want that guy behind the plate. I want that guy batting 5th in the lineup, 6th in the lineup. I just can't complain about him. The guy's been fantastic. The pitching, that was the bane of our existence, has came through these last 9 games, holding opposing teams to 4 runs or less. The pitching staff has been fantastic. The starters have been able to give the bullpen some room to breathe, giving them some days off. When the bullpen is called upon, they're doing a great job. This 9-game winning streak, there's not a whole lot to complain about, guys. I mean, it's hard to complain when you're winning games, and it's just fun to watch. These guys are almost as fun as they were last year. It was just, last year was such a surreal feeling, maybe because buying the MLB package, I wasn't expecting the Yankees to really do anything last year, and just excited to watch all the young kids play when Judge was called up, and Sanchez and Greg Bird and all those guys, Severino, Montgomery. And then all of a sudden they're pushing for a World Series. And now we call up Miguel Andujar because Brandon Drury is dealing with these headaches. We call up Gleyber Torres because our second baseman spot is not hitting well. And Andujar, he struggled. He struggled mightily at the very beginning. It looked like he just was lost and confused. Now all of a sudden the guy is just a beast. He's sitting here with an even .300 average. He has 24 hits on the year. 12 of them are doubles. 12 of his 24 hits are doubles. The guy is just truly amazing. One of the best third basemen that we've called up in a long time. Very exciting to see what this young man can do. The biggest knock on him was his fielding, and up to this point, the guy's fielded great. No errors that I can think of. The guy can just hit. He's just a guy that you look at and you don't think he can hit, and all of a sudden, bang, there's a double right off the wall. The guy just surprises you. The next call-up, the number 1 prospect in the Yankees farm system, the number 4 in baseball, Gleyber Torres, is coming alive. He's getting ready to make an explosion happen here in the Bronx. His very first game was not very good. He's sitting here at a .310 average now. These young guys are still bringing the spark that we needed to this team. It's exciting again. Watching the Yankees is fun again. They're turning into, yet again, the most fun team to watch because at any time, anybody in this lineup can take 1 yard. Anybody can start off, just the 1 through 9 can hit. And if one person gets on, another person gets a hit, another person gets a hit, and you start seeing the rally, and that's when watching baseball just becomes the best, is when your team is just teeing off on the opposing pitchers, and there's nothing they can do about it. No amount of perfect pitches, no amount of bad pitches. Regardless, wherever they throw the ball, it's going to get hit. That's when baseball is the most fun. It is truly amazing to watch this Yankees team, and I couldn't be happier on this 9-game winning streak. Going into Houston, Sonny Gray taking the ball. Guys, we got to get some offense for him. Sonny Gray, throw your fastball more, buddy. We gotta get you fixed. You're struggling here with like a 7.71 ERA. Time to fix it tonight. Now is the night to start it. Turn this thing around. Give us a good start on what could be a great 4-game set here against Houston, and then we can come back home in New York to take on the Tribe, take on Boston, and take this division and never look back. This is a team that has all the tools to win a World Series. If Tanaka can pitch like he pitched the other night, CeCe just looked like old form CeCe last night. The guy was just, wow. What else can you say? The guy is like 37 years old. His fastball only hits about 89 miles an hour right now. But the way he was getting guys to swing and miss at it, it looked like old CeCe Sabathia coming in at 92, 93 mile an hour. The guy is just fantastic. The way that the guy has just transformed his whole pitching identity is just great. He's a great guy in the clubhouse, a great leader in the clubhouse. I'm very glad they re-signed CeCe. Hey, I hope the guy can just continue. The guy's just been great. I love him. I love seeing the big fella out there. If he can give us 7 strong all the time, that'd be great, but still, he's still a 5-inning guy at probably most games. But seeing him be able to go out for 6 and 7 was just, that was awesome. That was good. So hats off to you, CeCe. Looking good. Yankees lineup's looking good. Guys, the Yankees are looking like World Series contenders again. It's happening. Start spreading the news. SkiveWalker signing off. Peace.